Alright, so now that we've designed the core of our networking, what we're going to have to do is implement this. And the easiest way to do this is just create a networking object that just binds the bootstrap and then releases the external resources when the server's shutting down. The rest we're going to just inject. Um, we're just going to take a bootstrap that's already pre-configured with proper pipeline factory, channel factory, and whatever other settings you might want. And this is, so basically you configure everything and then you start the networking process. So let's start off by creating a new package, and then new class, and then get started with a new module. Oops. Can't seem to click today. So let's do some documentation. Actually, we might want to keep that consistent. So what we're going to need is we're going to need a server bootstrap, and we're going to need um, an address to bind it to. So those are our two dependencies. So create a constructor. And then we're going to use dependency injection on this. And we're going to want to make this a singleton. So let's go ahead and import these things. Then we're going to need a method to start this. Like explicitly pointing out this. I don't know why, it's just a habit. Now we need to create our shutdown hook. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Now we need to supply it with. Now we need to actually configure this in the networking module. Should actually probably make this. We need to bind think here. New. And then we're going to need what are the different constructors for this? I think one takes a server factory. It takes two parameters. Oops. Sorry about that. I hadn't done this part in a long time. It's been a while since I worked with Netty and setting something up like that. Sorry about the brain fart. So this is the only place in our application where we should be using this. So I think it's safe to use. Then for this, set a pipeline factory. This isn't really a core component because it's just our pipeline factory, and it may change over time. We might be adding things like filters, so if someone's attacking like by spamming packets or spamming connections, we can filter it out. We might be adding different things, like various different things, so we need to make sure that we can change this and we don't have to go into the core to do this. Just remember, our goal is to keep the core unchanged. Now let's just name it sure. Well, let me see here. Probably add the sources to this. This is an interface, but I believe there is. Channel pipeline factory. Channel. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up the documentation for this, pull up some examples. I don't remember exactly what it's called. Alright, so all I've done is I've pulled up the Netty homepage. I'm just going to look at a quick example. How to do this. Probably have it in here. Oops. Implements channel pipeline factory. Yep, that was it. So 1 second while I switch back. So I just need to implement this. Then if we switch back and see what it was we had to do to get the original pipeline, I think it's just I think that's what it was to get the default pipeline. 1 second, I'll double check. Yep, it's just channel pipeline and then you just add things. So we can go So now we've got our just basic server pipeline factory. And what this does, I can get rid of that. To be specific here, because we might want to have other types of connections going in here. So we'll just do it like this. If you look back at our sign doc, we've got our bootstrap, we've got our pipeline factory, our channel factory. Then we have our pipeline factory is going to be in charge of configuring the codecs and handlers and this. So we're pretty much done here. There's not really much to test. I mean, we could set up like an echo server or something, but we'd only be testing Netty, and Netty's pretty well established. Make sure we have documentation on everything. We do. So we're pretty much done here. When I think about this, I should probably turn this. If we're going to do multiple things, we might need to change this up a bit. Because we might need different our channel pipeline factories, and bind it to different addresses. So, I don't really see a reason to. If we want to create a login server or something, we can make that completely external. If we want to make a web server, we can again make that completely external. We shouldn't really be interacting that way. I mean, yeah, it could be nice to do things on a website and have it automatically update without having to do anything fancy, just doing it directly through the networking aspect or portion of the server, but I don't think we should. I think we should just have everything done independently and have it worry about its own thing. I suppose it's still fine naming then. So yeah, that looks good.